I've been swimming for hours, but I can't find any land. Why? Oh, there's a polar bear. He might be able to help me find land. I must swim to meet him. Good morning, Mr. Polar Bear. Glad to see you.
Hello, Penguin. Is there anything I can help you? You look very exhausted.
I've been swimming for many hours now, but I can't find any land to rest. Can you tell me why?
Oh, of course. Follow me.
Polar Bear, welcome back. I see we have a visitor.
Penguin told me he has been swimming for a long time, so he is very exhausted now.
Hot chocolate would help you feel better, Penguin.
Thank you so much.
Penguin also asked me where all the ice has gone. I think you guys can explain him better than I do.
Oh, let's have a seat at the sofa. The first environmental crisis that leads to the melting of ice in both the North Pole and the South Pole is pollution. Pollution is basically the presence of harmful substances that have been emitted or contaminated in the environment. For air pollution, it is mainly caused by the emission of solid and liquid particles that are released into the air. Particles like these, as you can see, are created by car and truck exhaust and factories. For water pollution, it is primarily caused by releasing waste into the water. If too much waste like these are released into many bodies of water, marine life will slowly die out and will not thrive. For land pollution, its main cause is soil pollution, such as deforestation, consequent erosion, maybe agriculture as well, mining, landfills, and even dumping of waste. You might be extremely unfamiliar with these because you live here, but the effects of pollution on the environment can be extremely fatal. First of all, it can kill plants and animals. It can contaminate the air with substances and particles like PM2.5. Effects of pollution on humans can be increased respiratory systems such as irritation of the airways, coughing, or difficult breathing. Effects of pollution in the long run can be direct impact on climate change. Maybe you can play a small part, yet impactful, in helping reduce pollution. As students, I think students can ride bicycles or take the SkyTrain to reduce the emission of harmful particles. They can also avoid using plastic bags or other products made up of plastic.
Second, overpopulation. Overpopulation refers to a population which exceeds its sustainable size within a particular environment or habitat. Cause an increased birth rate will result in population growth, which can lead to the overpopulation of a species if such growth exceeds the resources within a particular geographic area. Decreased mortality rates can result in the overpopulation of a species if the increased lifespan of a species results in limiting the available resources within an ecological niche. Effect: human overpopulation has resulted in technological advances which have increased human lifespan and fertility, and consequently placed pressure on global resources. Such effects are such that the planet is currently in a novel geological epoch called the Anthropocene. This disruption can lead to the decline of other populations which compete for the same resources. How to solve? Empower women. Studies show that women will access to reproductive health services find it easier to break out of poverty, while those who work are more likely to use birth control. Promote family planning. When Iran introduced a national family planning program in 1989, its fertility rate fell from 5.6 births per woman to 2.6 in a decade. A similar effort in Rwanda saw a threefold increase in contraception usage in just 5 years.
Moreover, I want to say something extremely fast because it just hurts too much to hear. Most people know the natural world is facing great challenges and degradation, but few know the true extent of the changes and deprivation the environment faces and its extended effects on human welfare and all other life on Earth. There is a great gap between the multitude of problems the environment faces on all fronts and the level of awareness most people have on these issues. During the critical period of human history, our generation has been given the urgent task of reversing the damages of industrial civilization and overcoming perhaps the greatest challenge human has ever faced. Uniting as one conscious, sustainable force to secure the stability of our future environmentally, economically, and socially, but we cannot trust the planet, destroy its biodiversity, alter the climate, and continue living off the wealth of the future generations without condemning ourselves and the basis of our civilization in the process. The environmental movement with over 1 million environmental and social justice.
Deforestation. Deforestation means cutting down the trees to a large extent, be it forests. Causes of deforestation. The causes of deforestation are: first, logging. Wood-based industries like paper, matchsticks, furniture need a substantial amount of wood supply. Wood is used as fuel most commonly, and so large amount of trees are cut down for fuel supplies. Second, urbanization. Increasing population directly affects forests, as with the expansion of cities, there is a need for more land for housing and settlements. Third, forest fires. This happens due to extreme summers and winters. The fire caused by man or nature results in huge loss of forest cover. Effects of deforestation. Some of the effects of deforestation are: greenhouse gas emissions. Gases such as methane and carbon dioxide trap heat in Earth's atmosphere, leading change in climate. Deforestation leads to the emission of greenhouse gas. Soil erosion. Exposure of the soil to the sun's heat dries up the moisture inside the soil. Nutrients evaporate and it affects the bacteria that help to break down organic matter. Biodiversity losses. Deforestation alters land, and so that many of the plants and animals do not survive due to the destruction of their habitats. Trees play a vital role in protecting our environment in several ways, so we should protect the forest. Replanting. Ban on cutting of trees and new trees are planting more. Spread the awareness about sensitization and organize educative campaigns about the effects of deforestation.
Climate change is the defining issue of our time, and we are at a defining moment. From shifting weather patterns that threaten food production to rising sea levels that increase the risk of catastrophic flooding, the impacts of climate change are global in scope and unprecedented in scale. In general, climate changes can be explained by natural causes, such as changes in solar energy, volcanic eruptions, and natural changes in greenhouse gas concentrations. Research indicates that the natural causes do not explain most observed warming. Rather, it is extremely likely that human activities have been the dominant cause of the warming. The effects of climate changes such as temperature, frost-free seasons, droughts, and heat waves. Moving closer to work transportation is the second leading source of greenhouse gas emissions. One way to dramatically curtail transportation fuel needs is to move closer to work, use mass transit, or switch to walking, cycling, or some other mode of transport that does not require anything other than human energy.
6. Biodiversity. What is biodiversity? Biodiversity, or biological diversity, is a term that describes the variety of living beings on Earth. In short, it is described as a degree of variation of life. Cause 1. Destruction of habitat. The natural habitat may be destroyed by man for his settlement, agriculture, etc. As a consequence, the species must either adapt to the change in the environment or eventually die. Cause 2. Hunting. Wild animals are hunted for the commercial utilization of their products such as hides and skin. This will make a huge consequence in biosystem. Solution. 1. Leave national plants undisturbed and landscape using native trees and vegetation. Native plants are well adapted to local conditions and provide a low maintenance. 2. Construct fences to protect riparian areas and other sensitive habitats from trampling and other disturbance.
Solid waste is the #1 contributor of landfill waste disposal. Most of these are non-biodegradable. A poorly managed system will result in damage to the land and the surrounding environment. Agricultural wastes arise from the waste materials generated from the animal manure, crop, and farm remains. These agricultural remnants are highly toxic and contaminate the land and water resources. Industrial processes, construction activities, and power plants produce a wide range of solid byproducts and residues. The solid wastes usually always go to the landfill. Disposing of waste has had huge environmental impacts and caused many serious problems. Nowadays, people dig holes in the ground to put their waste in it. The process causes many problems like bad smells and toxic gases. The toxic gases contain toxic substances and when burnt can cause air pollution and contribute to acid rain. Landfill. Dumped waste is made to undergo compression to enhance the density and make the fill stable. It is later covered to discourage vermin growth. Waste is exposed to high temperatures to trigger combustion and ultimately reduced to ash, gas, and heat energy. Toxic wastes from the industry are thermally treated in a furnace and boiled to extract energy. This method is useful where land is scarce. Recycling, for example, plastic, paper, PVC, and other homogeneous products can be recycled to put them in use in a new garb. This also reduces the environment of non-biodegradable chemical wastes that significantly disturb the ecological balance. Biological processes like wastes of organic origin are made to undergo biological decomposition and reused as compost or mulch for agriculture and landscaping. Waste reduction and avoidance. The stress is on the increased use of second-hand products, repair products, and reducing the use of complex disposable items to keep a tab on waste generation in abundance. Recycling is a superlative way to capitalize on accumulated waste by chemically treating it to make it fit for reuse.
8. Big corporates and government exploiting the natural resources. Cause. Big corporate and government using the natural resource to make money, such as petroleum mining and cultivating forests. Government usually sell pieces of land which are rich in natural resources. That will be a lot of money to the government and to the company, but the environmental results are very negative. For example, the Brazilian government inviting companies to adopt the Amazon. This could be potentially mean that government is willing to let companies exploit and use the natural resources in the Amazon, since this create a lot of profit for the government. Effect. Loss of natural resources and affect the local living in the are forced to move out. Some may be threatened to leave their land. Solutions. Have international law that protect natural resources and the local living in reserved area, similar to the transboundary water treaties. 9. Local jobs. Cause. Locals not having enough knowledge to do city works, thus they need to have a job with lower skill level and relying too much on natural resource, such as cutting and selling woods, and or mining for minerals. Effect. Loss of natural resources, which over time which may eventually lead to depletion of resources. Solutions. Educate the locals on how they could use the natural resources effectively and educate the locals on other jobs they may be able to do, such as an alternative way of making income without using a lot of natural resources, such as farming and crafting. 10. Depletion of natural resources. What is the depletion of natural resources? The depletion of natural resources occurs when resources are consumed at a faster rate than that of replacement. Natural resources are those resources that are in existence without human action, and they can either be renewable or non-renewable. Causes. 1. Overpopulation. There is a consistent increase in the overall Earth populace, and this has been a critical factor in accelerating the depletion of natural resources. 2. Poor farming practices. Humans are causing a lot of stress to land resources due to the over-reliance on food production for daily nutritional requirement. Effects. 1. Water shortage. Poor farming practice, deforestation, and pollution is a major cause of water resource depletion due to contamination, wastage, and the destruction of natural water catchment areas. 2. Oil depletion. Oil is a non-renewable resource that accounts for approximately 40% of the total energy used globally. Solutions. Controlling deforestation. Programs aim at checking against deforestation. 2. Reducing oil, mineral, and material consumption. Oil-rich countries together with the World Bank, state, and consumables regularly bodies join hands towards the common national objects of discussing how oil and mineral consumption, as well as depletion, can be reduced.
Oh, now I know why the ice has all melted. What a shame. Humans treat dogs as man's best friend. Shouldn't humans treat every animal equally? They give their beloved dogs homes but destroy our homes for the sake of world improving projects. Soon, we will go extinct because of this, and soon, humans will face karma and also go extinct.
Oh, that's kind of harsh.
It's not harsh, it's a fact.
Fighting over all of this won't help. We must cooperate to make this world a better place.
We can do this together! Yay!